Hi, I'm Vince and welcome to my channel, Vince Cooper Games. Today we're going to be looking at my solitaire wargame, Bloody Lane, and specifically we're going to be examining the Union action phase. There are two primary Union actions. One is move, the other one is volley, which is an attack. There is also hold, which means the Union counter does nothing, and crouch and reform, which means the Union counter will attempt to increase its cohesion. I'll make a few videos to cover everything in more detail, so I'll come back to crouch and reform in a subsequent video. Let's just quickly take a look here to introduce the subject. So here on the player sheet you have the Union action table. So you're going to roll 1d6. If the result is 1 to 4, the Union counter is going to move. Charge, I will discuss in another video. If you roll 5 or 6, you're going to resolve the volley action, and sharpshooter again I will also cover in a later video. So just for example, we roll 1d6, it's a 1, so the Union counter would move. So that's the basics. Let's discuss hold first of all. Okay, when would a Union counter hold? So the 7th West Virginia is here, the 1st Delaware is here, and let's imagine that we rolled a 6. So the 1st Delaware is going to resolve the volley action. The 7th West Virginia cannot move into another attack position that is occupied by another Union counter. Therefore, 7th West Virginia would hold. If I resolved 5th Maryland and rolled a 2, 1 to 4 is a move, so the 5th Maryland would advance forward into attack position number 4. In this case, 14th Indiana can move into the vacant attack position, so it would do so. Okay, so hold means a Union counter in a rear attack position cannot advance forward into a forward attack position. Okay, let's discuss automatic moves next. There are 3 times that a Union counter can make an automatic move. Okay, the first one here, so from attack position number 1 on any of the attack tracks, A1, B1, C1, D1, or E1. So from attack position number 1, a Union counter automatically moves. So you do not roll 1d6 to determine whether it will move or resolve a volley. Okay, so the 8th Ohio, these are not historically placed, by the way. So the 8th Ohio, because it's in attack position D1, it will make an automatic move into attack position D2. Okay, that's the first example of an automatic move. The second example is what I kind of just described. So if the 1st Delaware is here, then any counters in rear attack positions will always make an automatic move forward. So 7th West Virginia will move from attack position A2 to attack position A3. So again, you do not need to roll 1d6 for Union counters in rear attack positions. And the final example is if the 6th Alabama is shattered. Okay, so a shattered Confederate counter means its cohesion has been reduced to 0. And the 1st Delaware, if it's in the foremost attack position, so A4, will make an automatic move into the defensive position. And this is how the player loses the game. So if a Union counter automatically moves into a defensive position occupied by a Confederate counter that is shattered, that's it, game over. So that's the automatic, that's hold and the automatic moves. Let's go through some examples. So you always resolve the action for the Union counter in the foremost attack positions first, starting from attack track A, then attack track B, C, D, and E. So we're going to resolve the action for the 1st Delaware first, because it's the foremost counter in attack track A. So we're going to roll 1d6, 1 to 4 is move, 5 to 6 is volley, and we get a 5. So 1st Delaware would resolve a volley, which I'll cover that in a subsequent video. Okay, next we resolve the Union action for the foremost counter in attack track B. So that's 5th Maryland. And we get a 1. So the 5th Maryland will resolve a move and advance from attack position B3 to B4. Okay, next, let's just put that one back here. Okay, next, the foremost counter in attack track C is the 4th New York. So roll 1d6 and we get a 4. So 1 to 4 is a move, so 4th New York advances from C2 to C3. Okay, remember the 8th Ohio is in attack position number 1, so we don't roll 1d6, we make an automatic move from D1 to D2. Okay, once you've resolved the actions for the foremost counters in each attack track, you then go back and resolve the actions for counters in the rear attack positions, which will either be a move, or almost always will be a move, or a hold. So 1st Delaware resolved volley, it didn't move, so 7th West Virginia cannot advance, so 7th West Virginia will hold and remain in position in A2. 5th Maryland did move, so 14th Indiana can make an automatic move from B2 to B3. 4th New York also moved, which means 69th New York, for 2 reasons. First of all, it's in an entry attack position, and also because it's one of the rear Union counters will also move from C1 to C2, and 8th Ohio we've already resolved. That made an automatic move from D1 to D2. Okay, and that's it. That's the basics of the Union action phase. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.